Hi there, my name is Arielle Shipe, and I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my story, my health journey with the Juice Plus program and the Juice Plus business, and how I ended up where I am today. So, I'm fairly new to the whole new Juice Plus community. I have been a part of it for about 15 years, but I am the leader of one of the fastest growing teams in the country, which is really, really amazing. So, obviously, we're doing something right. I came to Juice Plus reluctantly for the products. I had been struggling for about 4 years prior to finding Juice Plus with my health in a lot of different ways. Externally, I was really struggling with acne. I had really intense cystic hormonal acne all over my face and jawline. And then I was diagnosed with something called interstitial cystitis, and I had an array of other women's health issues. And if you are wondering if I just told the entire internet about my vagina and bladder problems, the answer is yes. Yes, I did. And I think it's important because I feel like behind closed doors, there are so many people struggling and they're a little bit too embarrassed to share their stories. So I will put myself out there in the open with the hopes that maybe by sharing my story, we can help impact the lives of others. So I did what I knew best, and I went to the doctor, and every single time I went, they would run tests. They couldn't quite figure out what was going on with me, so they would send me home with antibiotics as a best guess. And so I took antibiotics 6 times over the course of 2 years. And by my last doctor's visit, I was feeling worse than ever. I was given the diagnosis of interstitial cystitis, and I was told that really there was nothing left they could do to help me. So I then turned to naturopathic medicine, and since they don't take health insurance, I invested thousands of dollars of my own money. I did 2 different food sensitivity tests where they draw your blood and some really intensive elimination diets. And even after all of that, I was still feeling pretty awful, like little to no improvement whatsoever. So there's not, if I'm being honest, there's not a lot more frustrating than feeling like you're doing everything that you know possible to try to heal your body and still struggling. I mean, I was eating well, I was drinking enough water, I was getting enough sleep, I was exercising enough, but not too much. I was even meditating every day. And so to still be in such a low place with my health was pretty demoralizing. So when my friend first shared the Juice Plus program with me about 15 months ago, I was a little bit skeptical, but at the same time, I felt like this was the first thing that was focused on what we were missing instead of just on elimination. So I was excited for something new. And I decided to jump in for the full program. I wanted to make sure I was having the best chance at reducing inflammation. So I was doing 2 shakes a day. I was doing the quad, which is our fruit, vegetable, and berry blend plus the omegas. And I was actually double dosing my fruit and vegetable and berry capsules for about 6 months to help reduce inflammation. And the results were amazing. Within 3 to 4 months, people were asking me what I was doing differently with my skin because they could really notice a difference. Within 6 months, I was completely symptom-free from all of my women's health-related and interstitial cystitis symptoms. And I finally had freedom. It's been almost an entire year that I've been symptom-free, and it's a huge relief to finally feel like I'm not a prisoner in my own body anymore. And to be honest, I started Juice Plus for the products, but there was definitely a little seed planted in me for the business. To give you a little background on my career life until that point, I graduated college with a bachelor's in finance and economics. I had a minor in international studies, and I had an honors focus in leadership. And so I immediately got out of college and got a 9-to-5 desk job. About 3 months in, I realized it was not going to be for me, so I started doing a yoga teacher training on nights and weekends. And about 3 months after that, I quit that job and went back to waiting tables. So I waited tables all through college, and it's all I really knew how to do. And I liked that I could make money quickly and I could travel a lot. So what I'd usually do is work my butt off for 4 months, save up as much money as possible, and then I'd go travel and I'd come back broke, and then I'd do it again. And I felt like this hamster on a wheel, and I'm hustling, but I'm not going anywhere. And so I thought to myself, I really needed a change, but I didn't know what to do. And unfortunately, the thing that shook me out of my place was the death of my father. So 4 years ago, my dad passed away. It was due to heart-related health issues, and it really, 1, made me realize how important it is to take care of our health, but 2, made me realize that our time here isn't promised. We don't know what tomorrow brings for us. And for me, I was thinking, even if I live 100 years, that's short. And I want to make sure that all of the time I spend on this earth is is put towards doing things that empower others, that feel fulfilling. So I decided to take the big dive, and I quit my restaurant job and I started teaching yoga full time. And at first it was pretty fulfilling. It was definitely a labor of love. I was teaching 15 to 20 classes per week, but I did have little breaks throughout the day, like hour here, hour there. So I'd go out on hikes. I live in a really beautiful area in Colorado, and I started posting pictures on my Instagram page, and people would write me messages and be like, "Oh my gosh, how do you afford to travel and do all these adventures?" And I'm laughing to myself because I wasn't, right? Like, I'm not traveling. I had barely taken like any vacation or anything in the course of 3 years. And so I was just kind of like, this is the illusion of social media, I guess. And, so I had this illusion that I was traveling, but I wasn't really. I couldn't afford to take the time off of work. And after 3 years of teaching 15 to 20 classes a week, I was honestly burnt out. And, people would say, like, "Isn't it so great to do what you love for a living?" And I had to like be like, "Yeah, it's so great," even though I was really like kind of dying inside. So the idea of the business was really sexy to me, but honestly, I was unsure of myself. I didn't know if this was something that I had the capacity to do. Luckily for me, after about my first month in, I went to a really defining dinner, and I met a couple there, and they were 27 years old, making six figures, moving across the country into their dream home that they just built. I met a man there who, him and his wife, had raised their entire family of 5 off their Juice Plus income solely for the last 13 years, even putting 3 girls through college. And what I saw in their stories was that they had this freedom. And even though I didn't want exactly what they were creating, I wanted the freedom that they had to design their own life. And so there was this fire set within me to really take this all by storm. And so, in the last 15 months, it's incredible to say, but I've really, truly redefined my financial situation. I now do my Juice Plus business completely 100% full time, and it allows me to completely design my own day. And I haven't had that freedom ever before in my life. And it is so amazing to be able to say yes to opportunities as they come up. When someone invites me to do a cool trip, or if there's a cool opportunity to travel somewhere amazing, like, I know I can say yes. I know I don't have to ask anyone for permission because my work comes with me everywhere. And I definitely take full advantage of that. I think one of the best pieces of all is, when people ask me now how I have the time and the finances and whatever it might be to travel so much, I actually have an answer. And so if you're listening to this and you're on the fence about, whether Juice Plus might be for you or not, all I got to say is I was skeptical as well, and I decided, why not? I've tried so many other things, and at least this was something that one of my best friends was recommending to me. And I have to say, it was one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. So thank you for hearing my story, and I am super grateful to be able to sit here and share it.